everybody. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Bree.
And I'm Evan.
And this is Reality Check TV. Here's where we discuss some of our favorite reality shows to watch together as a couple. So if you love reality TV like we do, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new review.
Don't be that person on this new year to be late to the game.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. I am so happy to be back. Listen, y'all. 2023 went out with a bang. I swear. I mean, I was trying to survive the whole year, and then it was like, not so fast. We are trying to take you out. 2023 was trying to take me out. So I was sick the last couple of weeks of the year. It was a struggle. I felt like I could get on here and just kind of muster up some energy, y'all, but I looked a hot ass mess and I refused because y'all not going to be talking about me in the new year. So I couldn't have that. But I'm happy to be back. I missed you guys. I hope you guys had a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Christmas, because we haven't talked to you guys since Christmas. Like, I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. You know, it's still going. We still have MLK Day. We still got Valentine's Day, Black History Month. To me, this is all holiday season, okay? So I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far and was able to get all of the rest and love and food and alcohol and everything that you love. I hope that you were able to do that at the end of the year. How do you feel?
2023 was trash.
It was a trash ass year. I think it's safe to say that now, cause we're out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a trash ass year, y'all. We gonna have a real moment with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
How was it trash for you?
Too much moving pieces. Too much of things coming out of nowhere that impacts your adulthood and just life in general. So I'm hoping for 2024 to be better to me, better to us.
Yes.
Hopefully we got more control of our destiny this year.
Yes. 2023, start off, I am very blessed. All of my loved ones and the people that mean so much to me, we are all, safe and healthy, and we're still here, and that's a blessing. So let's start off with that. It was a blessing. I thank God that we were able to get through another year. But I will be sitting up on this internet lying if I did not say that 2023 was a challenging ass year. I swear, y'all, it was trying to take me out. I was like, I came out swinging, though. I came out swinging. I came up on top. All right. So I am not trying to wallow in just all of the ups and downs, the many downs of 2023. Despite all of the hurdles and tears and depression and anxiety and finances and all of this other stuff that I was going through, that we were going through, that y'all were probably going through, we made it. And the real beauty is, in 2023, we started this channel. So that is one of my highlights from last year. And this year, I feel it in my spirit. This is going to be our year. I really feel like we have some really good things that's in store for us this year, and I'm going to stay positive and speak it into existence. But I will say one of the positive things is this channel. We have a lot of ideas for the channel. We've been saying that. Y'all, we are not flaky, I swear. But what has been going on behind the scenes has really gotten in our way of moving the channel forward and just trying to expand and do as much as we possibly can There's been a lot of different things that's happened throughout the year that was kind of standing in our way with that. But this year, I feel like we're getting a better handle of things. And so we're able to kind of focus our energy here. So, hold us accountable. We love y'all. If you guys made it through the new year with us, if you are a day one and you've been here since we first launched this page to now, shout out to y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all.
Oh, damn, it's not a heart. That's a circle.
I don't know what that was.
Ho!
Whoa. Okay. Okay. We're here. We're happy. Let's go. We energized. It's positivity. You ready?
Well, I'll let you do it.
I was about to say, it's the first one of the year. I got to do it. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So we are back with another Love and Marriage Huntsville review. Thank God the show is over. It's done. Thank God. Oh my God. It was like an abusive relationship. It was just kind of like, damn, can we just stop? Whoa. It was just, I can't. But we are here finally after 200 episodes. Season 6 is done. Next week or this weekend is the reunion. And it looked like there's a lot to talk about there too. However, we missed the last 2 episodes, including the season finale from last weekend. So we are going to do the little wrap up. Instead of doing scene by scene, y'all, we are going to do just an overall synopsis of all of the couples, what we think. We heard that these hoes all got renewed. So that's unfortunate. Cause clearly nobody's listening to us. Okay? We could save the show if you would just listen to the viewers.
Them being renewed, I guess we got another round of the foolishness. Like I said, Tiffany and Lewis are gone.
Okay, so the first couple up, is going to be the Fletchers. We're going to start with them. The Fletchers had a good season this season, okay? They came in. We were all skeptical about it, more so because of Nell. Once we actually was able to get some scenes for just them and them really getting an introduction into the show, we started to see the vision. I was here with y'all. I could see it. It makes sense. It still makes sense. So much so that I feel like they do need to have a spinoff. Because I don't feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville should be a thing anymore. But I'll get to that later. But I really do think that they were the oomph that needed to be added to the show. Like the fresh face, fresh storylines, fresh dynamics. It made sense, right? I told y'all I can be unbiased because I'm still about to get into Nell's ass. Because these last 2 episodes, or not the last 2, the one before last weekend's, there was a lot of things that rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm able to say that, but then still recognize that they are good for the show. So I just want to make that clear. Okay, so we're going to call the episode 30 the Christmas episode, because that was the weekend of Christmas, right? So we have the Fletchers trying to do these team building exercises. It's some BS. I didn't appreciate none of this. Number one, we start doing trust falls. Why? Why are we doing trust falls? And once again, why are y'all hell bent on crossing Mel's boundaries? She said it to you guys multiple times. Stop putting me and Martell in situations together. Don't even put our names in the same sentence. But y'all are so determined
Hell bent
to cross her boundaries. Y'all don't cross nobody else's boundaries on this damn show. And I'm talking to production, because y'all really pissing me off with this. When it comes to Mel and Martell, Y'all are constantly trying to force a dynamic and it's pissing me off. Us as viewers, we don't want to see this. We really don't. Like, we don't want to see it. We don't. Stop making them do activities together. So, of course, when they do the trust fall, Mel falls to the ground, of course, because why not? Like, what? I trust the ground more than I trust his ass. Like, no. And then when it was time for her to catch him, she let his ass fall. Because I would always do that. I'm not even in this room. Fuck letting him fall. I never came into the room. I'm not doing this. I'm really not.
Walk out like Letitia did when Kiki came in.
Right. Mm-hmm. They have Kiki and... Not Kiki. They have Tisha and Stormy do the trust fall. Tisha want to be fake, like, you know, fake mad and act like she's scared to, like, kind of fall back. Who cares? Like, this whole situation was stupid.
Bad move
like,
by the...
stupid.
Bad move by the Fletchers.
And production.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
This is dumb. Y'all have to stop having these reality shows with this cast that we know don't like each other. We know it's forceful. And, like, forcing them to do things like this. Like, please stop. Like, it's not... Like, no. Stop trying to say, like, we're trying to do it for the team and let's talk it out. No. Argue. That's what y'all do. That's entertaining. Argue. Fight. Be real. Say what's really going on. I'm gonna get back to that later because that's like the theme for the last 2 episodes. Like, it's really making me mad. Then Kiki walks in, right? So Kiki walks in, and of course that changes the whole dynamic with the group. Nell takes the opportunity to let everybody know, like, you know, I invited Kiki here. So she's able to apologize to the group and, you know, we're able to give her a chance and, you know, all this other stuff. Clearly, Tisha's uncomfortable. Tisha walks out of the room. We don't have to do a blow by blow. Moral of the story is, like I said before, Nell was wrong for not telling Tisha that she was coming, meaning Kiki. Period. Right? She's not wrong for inviting her. Because why? Because production told her to invite her. Mm-hmm. Like, let's stop being stupid. She shouldn't apologize for that because it wasn't her idea. We're on a show. We need a scene. But where she did go wrong was not telling Tisha or giving Tisha a heads up. Period. Then her whack ass decided to kind of like allude to Mel being the one that really had the first initial conversation with Kiki, inviting her to Houston, and told Kiki to call Miss Nell to kind of like seal the deal. So she kind of painted this picture or this scenario to me. This is my opinion. The way she was talking to Marsau and Tisha in the kitchen and trying to explain her side, it was definitely given like, you know, I did this against my better judgment. I knew that it was wrong. And even like Chris and I went back and forth about it. Like he wasn't feeling it either. Like I didn't want anybody to be uncomfortable. And she's starting to like tear up. And she was like, Kiki talked to Mel. And, you know, I just get a call from Kiki, you know, asking, or not even asking, but basically telling me she wants to come. I didn't like that because the episode prior, when she was talking to Chris, it was definitely like, I made the decision and what? like what? Like, I did it, and what? And you gonna support me about it? Like, I don't feel bad about it. Like, it is what it is. Kiki deserved to be here. That's what it was given. It was given, I stand 10 toes down in my decision. But then when you start talking to Marsau and Tisha, it was kind of like, oh, like, I was forced to do it. My hands were tied. I want to get my gut. Like, no. I didn't like that. Like, stand in that shit. Apologize, which she did. She did apologize for not giving Tisha the heads up. And Tisha said that. She said, my main issue is I feel like you should have given me the heads up. And she received that. And she just kind of, I feel like Nell took it to another level. by crying and tearing up. She goes back in the room. She's like, I'm just gonna tell her she can't stay here. I made the decision. She can't stay here. And I'm like, that just to me made it worse. And I feel like this was you creating a moment. I'm still trying to fully get to know Nell. However, I feel like I do know who she is. I see you, girl. She's been doing little things throughout the season, the last couple of seasons, that has made me question her motives and her intentions and what loyalty looks like for her. And this is one of those moments. Like, just stand firm in that shit. You did it, so stand firm in it. So she goes back in the room and lets everybody know, like, yeah, Kiki, you gotta go. You can't stay here. Stormy steps up and was like, no, it's good. Like, she can stay with us. Like, she don't gotta stay at the house. And Kiki's like, yeah, I wasn't planning on staying at the house, but I'm not gonna have anybody dictate where I go. Right? Whatever, girl. Sure. I'm bringing all of this up to say this somehow, some way, then turns into Nell and Martell getting into it, right? Now, we'll come back to all of the other holes for the other couples, but we're doing couple by couple. Once they hash that out about the whole Kiki situation, Nell and Martell get into it because, of course, Martell, when anything is not about him, or if he feels like there's an opportunity for me to be victim, he's going to take that opportunity. So he did that. And so he's yelling and screaming at everybody, but specifically yelling and screaming at Nell. Nell and him are going back and forth, cussing at each other, all of this stuff. I don't even know what Martell said because none of that matters. Because I'm sitting there with my mouth open. Like, I know this nigga is not yelling at this woman in front of all these people and her husband right there.
Being quiet as a mouse.
I don't know what Martell said. I really don't.
It was more of him. He was pretty much telling everybody, like, he was saying how...
It don't matter.
Oh. He was saying they were Team Rogers.
It don't matter, though. It don't matter. Because this grown-ass man was yelling at this woman, and her husband was right there.
So a lot of these guys, for some reason, fear Martell.
Y'all know how I am. I don't feel like women have to feel like they're always in a situation where they have to be saved by men and that they cannot stick up and stand up for themselves and you know, have their own voice. You know, the future is female. Y'all know I'm on that all day, every day. However, I will say, and I don't care how nobody feels about it, if my husband, man, baby daddy, whatever, is in a room with me and another grown man is yelling at me and he don't say nothing, I'm cussing your ass out. And I already said that. I'm cussing you out. Let it be known. Listen, I'm a quote Nene Leakes. Listen, I'm a gangster. I don't need him to stick up for me at any time. Like, I got this. I got the mouth. I got it. But at the end of the day, it's the principle of the thing. I shouldn't have to. I can do it, but I shouldn't have to. Especially when it comes to another grown man and you sitting right there. Because I wouldn't let it happen or fly if it was the other way around. Can no woman in my presence be cussing and yelling at him? Right? That's just not going to be a thing. And then I'm sitting right there. That can't be a thing. Like, what the hell? No. Same goes the other way around. Don't you dare. And I said this to him while we was watching the show. If you ever allow a grown man to be screaming in my face in a group, in a room full of people or no people, it don't even matter, and you don't say nothing, and this your homeboy, we broke up that night. We not doing that. We not doing that. So I don't know, Chris, what that shit was about. I really don't. But that was unacceptable. Unacceptable. And we already know that Martell is unhinged. Okay? He has been accused of even getting into physical fights, allegedly, with production. Okay? And he's just unhinged on TV. The things that we do see. He's not wrapped too tight at all. So really with him, it's like you're just going to allow him to do that. And it carried on from the room where they was doing a team building exercise all the way to the living room. Like, it was a continuation. Unacceptable. Don't appreciate it. I did not like that at all. What else with the Fletchers? The Fletchers, y'all, once they got back, so last weekend's episode, they get back to Huntsville. Y'all see our dog. They get back to Huntsville and they just talking, or Mel is talking to them at their back to school book drive. And they talk about how good the trip was. The trip was not good. It was an epic fail. The trip was an epic fail.
They're delusional.
Everybody was delusional. I didn't appreciate that either. But that's all I got for the Fletchers from the last 2 episodes and for this season. Like I said, they are good for the show. Does that mean that we don't like them? It don't mean that, but they're really good for the show. And so I agree with their contract being renewed.
Nell is still shady.
Absolutely. And it was shown in these last 2 episodes.
Shady as a tree, man. Chris, where you been at these past 2 episodes? Like, he's been quiet as a mouse. Like, does he play any part?
He just allowed grown men to yell at his wife, so don't play.
Yeah, he's afraid of Martell. Because he already gave Martell that soft ass warning, talking about on the FaceTime, don't be yelling at my wife or raising your voice at my wife.
And still with a little bit of joke.
With joke behind it. My thing is this: you're on FaceTime. Now you're literally watching it happen again in real time, and you're here, and you just sitting here quiet, daydreaming. Right. So he
was sitting there looking. He was just like,
he afraid of Martell
and looking back and forth. Because let me tell you whose wife y'all can't yell at. You already know. Guess whose wife is not going to be in this situation?
Oh, no. They would have been aired it out. Courtney.
Exactly. Courtney don't play these games. Speaking of Courtney, let's talk about Stormy and Courtney. Okay, so Stormy and Courtney, they didn't really have much going on in Houston, right? So we're going to kind of skip that. Y'all know we're going to come back to the little blow up or Martell's temper tantrum. We'll get back to that, right? But sticking with the couples, we're going to talk about last weekend's episode with Stormy and Courtney. Just really quick, Stormy is telling Courtney that she is really adamant on getting her family, specifically her mama and her aunt, back together again. So we can be one big happy family. She says she talked to her uncle and she's realizing that the root of their issue is some old stuff from when they were kids and who got more attention from mommy and daddy and all of this other stuff. And this kind of snowballed into present day with their mom being, older and she needs to be cared for. And it's kind of like the question of who's going to be responsible for mama, right? I don't know if all black families go through this. I have said this to y'all before. This storyline with Stormy, I relate to because I am literally living it in this very moment and have been for months when it comes to my family. And this is what happens when our elders get older and the matriarch of our family now is not in the place where they're able to take care of themselves. Like my great grandmother has dementia. So that's been a lot of tension in my family around that, as far as who's responsible, who's doing what, who doing this, blah, 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 right? I used to be Stormy, trying to get the family together. I'm the person in life, I want everybody to get along. My intentions are always pure. I always want everybody to get along. Really family and friends is like my thing. But in 2023, when I tell you your girl got a wake up call, Stormy, take it for somebody that knows, leave this shit alone. Let these old people be old people. They are stuck in their ways. You are not going to get very grown people to change their behavior if they don't want to change their behavior. And what's going to happen is You gonna continue to try to bring everybody together, and you coming into the situation with pure intentions, but someone is going to take your pure intentions and twist it, make it negative, and then all of a sudden now you in it. That's what's gonna happen. Now you in it, right? Ask me how I know. I'm telling you, when it comes to this family shit, you gotta learn, you gotta let family be family. You also gotta learn, at the end of the day, we're all blood. We didn't ask to be family, right? It's different from friends to me. You choose your friends. You don't choose your family. So what is it? There's beauty in that, but then there's another side that's realistic, where the sense of that means we not gonna like each other, right? Like, I'm recognizing there's a lot of people that I'm related to that, would we be friends, or would you be somebody I hang out with if we were not family? Probably not. That's a hard pill to swallow. But that is the reality of the situation. We're related. We're family at the end of the day. And that means something to me. Family means everything to me. But at the end of the day, not everybody has that same feeling. Not everybody feels the same way about family. So Stormy, enough is enough. You've been doing this for episodes now, especially when it comes to your mama and your aunt. And both of them look like they are a piece of work. Because the last time we talked to your auntie, I felt like your mama was on one. And in this episode, I felt like your auntie was on one. I don't know what was going on. I also feel like they edited this really strange, where there was clearly missing pieces. It was very weird. But to back up just a minute, when Stormy was talking to Courtney about getting her aunt and her mom back together, she said that she has this idea of doing a family fish fry. They used to do it back in the day. She feels like this will be a good opportunity for them to talk it out. Courtney's like, you sure about this? Stormy was like, yeah, like, I feel like we should do this. Like, you know, like, can you help out with blah, blah, blah? You gonna come? Courtney like, no. I can't do that. And I love Courtney for that. Courtney been doing that all season. And I love Stormy for that, because I love that Stormy respects his boundaries. Like, she ain't even push it. She ain't backhand or say none of that. I'm working on that too, where it's kind of like Evan says, no, that's not for me. I don't want to go. I got to be like, okay, respect. I got it. I get it now.
I'm Courtney. Courtney's me.
I get it now.
I'm literally one of those people where I'm drama free.
I get it now.
It's just one of those things where if I feel like if there's fire somewhere, I ain't a firefighter, so, I'm going to wait for that stuff to burn down. I just don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do the drama, man.
Yeah. And I don't either, but I try to fix everybody's problems. And
I'm glad she's leaving that in 2023.
I am.
Thank God.
Are you proud of me?
Yes, thank God. And I want y'all to hold her to it, and I'm gonna hold her to it too. If it does not pertain to you, you do not insert yourself. You let adults be adults.
Yes.
You take care of you.
Yes. Yes. Lesson learned. But I appreciate that Stormy didn't even push the boundary there. So she took her cousin Butter instead. She said that's like her little brother. So they go to Mississippi to have a little fish fry. I would say this is the weakest fish fry I've ever seen in my life. Where was the food?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Let me give them a quick disclosure too while we're in this scene.
Yeah.
Y'all, I gave not two shits about this scene. I'll be honest with you. I didn't pay attention. I probably was like drinking some wine or something like that.
So bad.
I did not care because, at the end of the day, production needed a scene from Stormy, and she knows her family's a mess. And so it's like, oh, well, I'll give y'all some entertainment. Let me get my wild ass family together. We ain't even got the fish. We ain't got the flour.
Right, I didn't.
But, we got the equipment to make it look like we're going to have a fish fry. And
wait, hold on. They had the little thing to chop. I was like, y'all gonna make one little fish or one fillet? Like, I'm so confused.
Bruh.
The one little thing.
And so, let's Stormy had to have a scene. Let's get the family together so they can argue because she knows they ain't gonna get along.
Right.
Rain for a reason because the Lord said, y'all stop this shit. Go home.
And she took it opposite. So y'all, when they got to the little fish fry or the park where they was gonna have the fish fry, it started storming. Like it started thundering and lightning, right? So it didn't rain just yet. And she's like, oh, like basically like this was a positive sign. Like God is trying to tell us something. I was like, yeah, to stop.
And let me tell you, once again, stop. Courtney was right. I'm not being part of it. Courtney was right, man. He's always right.
Yeah, it was a shit show. Like I said, the aunt was on one this time.
Because they want to be on camera. They want to act a fool on camera. I'm going to tell y'all one thing about me when it comes to these shows. I hate seeing mamas on TV because they always show their ass. They try to have a scene on TV when their child's a part of this show. It happens every show. The mama always has to show their ass.
Well, it wasn't Stormy's mom this time. Family, I mean, she's on one, but she was
family.
I don't think I don't think that they were fake. I think it's hard to script them type of people.
But I'm saying, but I'm okay. It's not scripted. That's even worse because cameras are here, and you're looking like the bad one because Stormy's mom was kind of quiet,
right?
And you're popping off now,
right?
So it was looking like you trying to have a moment in front of this TV, and man, you're not getting a spinoff.
I don't think that was. I really don't think that's her goal.
I don't know. I don't know if Alabama has a fruit. I know Georgia has a peach, but
what does that have to do with
she's not getting a peach.
Oh my god! Shut up. I'm just like, what? Anyways, Aunt Lisa, that's the auntie's name. Aunt Lisa, like I said, she was on one. She was just not trying to have a conversation with Stormy's mama, and Stormy's mama. It seems like I said earlier. The conflict now is who's taking care of mama, right? And it seems like Stormy's mom is doing a lot of the legwork. Mm-hmm. And I guess Stormy's grandmother lives with her mother. That's what I got from it. I think she lives with her. And so Stormy's mom was basically like, all I'm asking is that one weekend out of the month that you come and you give basically me a break. Like, you help out. And Aunt Lisa wasn't feeling that. She was like, I got a husband. My weekends belong to me. I'm the only one out of all of us that still got a job. Like, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I don't know. Y'all tell me. Black people, is just a thing for us? Like, it seems like this is a thing in black families that causes a lot of strife and arguments. I know Evan and his family has experienced the same thing. I am experiencing it. I have other friends that have talked about this topic of like grandma or great grandma being sick and who gonna take care of her, and that just starts to divide the family. The addition of Stormy and Courtney as permanent cast members, I've said this before, it does work. I will say that I felt like the first half of this season, we was trying to get to know them a little bit better. I think that needs to happen a little bit more. I don't know, because I love Courtney now. Now, Courtney has become one of my favorite people.
One thing I think about Courtney is I think he's the only one on the show that I could say is 100% authentic.
Right.
And my thing is he's not going to do shit for production.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to go. I'm not going to go. He didn't go to that fish fry bullshit. He did not go to Kimmy and Marie's barbecue bullshit. No. Courtney's not going to go.
He's not with the shit.
So, Courtney's authentic. He's the only one I feel is authentic.
Right. And I think that Stormy is kind of like, I think there's some things sometimes that Stormy be real about, but you can tell that she's kind of like, okay, we gotta kind of participate and do these things, and Courtney's like, nope, if my spirit
I feel at the same time, ever since the beginning of this season, I feel like Stormy's been trying to find her way because her scenes with Mel has diminished. When I say
she's fake mad at Mel.
Yeah,
so
I'm saying now I feel like now she has limited storylines now,
right?
Because Mel really don't deal with her like that,
right?
Yes, they have scenes when they're in the same room,
right?
But there's no depth to it, and so there's no depth to it and no story with it. It's like I feel like Story's trying to find her way now because, like I said, it seems like her only storyline this season seemed to be Scott attached to the Scotts.
It's going to be telling during the reunion and next season. Because y'all know now there's beef with Tisha and Stormy. So now that you are no longer trying to ride the Scott train, I wonder if she's going to try to really get things right, like genuinely get things right with Mel.
Right.
And if Mel is going to be receptive to it and what goes from there. I feel like that is her only option, to be quite honest. That wouldn't feel fake.
Right.
Because if next season they come back and they're buddy, meaning Tisha and Stormy, I'm really not watching the show no more. Because y'all are just really faking
you just fast
fraudulent.
forward their parts.
Like, that's so whack. So we'll see with that. I will say, I think one little indication if that's the route that she's about to take is when they was arguing, or not they, when Martell was throwing his little temper tantrum in Houston, Stormy was the only one that stood up for Mel. Mm-hmm. And was really on some, like, listen, bro, like, you cheated first.
Yeah,
Stormy
was on the thing of pretty much, Martell, shut up, you cheated.
Right.
Like, we're done talking about this. You cheated.
Right.
She, Stormy was right when she said, okay, once you cheated and Mel moved out and got an apartment, mm-hmm. And Stormy said Mel claimed that she wasn't going back after that.
Yeah.
So if the decision's made, I'm not going back, whatever Mel does after is fair game.
Right.
Because she's not going back.
Right.
And Martell, but we were still married. Nigga, you were married when you cheated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Stormy was the only one that's not to. That wasn't trying to hear that,
I just found it funny how when Stormy and Martell were going at it, I saw a difference between Courtney and Chris. When Stormy and Martell were kind of jaw-jacking, I just saw it in Courtney's eyes. He was over here like, all right, let me check the tone of this nigga, bro. Like, Courtney was paying attention to how
Martell brought it down just a little bit when talking to Stormy.
That's what I'm saying. But Courtney was looking in his eyes.
Because he ain't
He was checking. He was like, all right now, I ain't Chris now.
Right.
He was right behind Stormy.
Y'all know I still think he Suge Knight. So Suge ain't playing that.
Courtney was just standing
you
there.
can yell at everybody else's wife in here, but this one, you're not going to do. He didn't even have to say nothing.
No.
He was like, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Courtney was just sitting back there like, okay.
Let's see where this goes. But Stormy, y'all know I be up and down with Stormy. I feel like she was trying very, very hard to be Team Scott. Mm-hmm. And try to be, Mel's adversary, and then, now look what had happened. Mm-hmm. But you kind of got egg on your face, so we gonna see. Mm-hmm. We gonna see what you bring next season. Do better, girl. But I do think that y'all's contract should have got renewed. I did agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so now for the part of the show where you can go use the bathroom. And that is anytime we talk about Kimmy and Maurice. Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about them no more. So there's that. You talk about people's contract that shouldn't have gotten renewed. I feel like they should have been moved down, I guess, to like the B cast.
The C cast.
Yeah, like they should be like friends of the show. Honest opinion. They should be friends of the show.
No, they should be behind the hairstylist.
So, in episode 30, the Christmas episode, when Kiki came in and did her, speech and her apology, she did a direct apology to Kimmy and Maurice for how she acted at their home, which was the right thing to do. I will give Kiki that. Well, Kimmy and Maurice did not really accept it. They said that they accepted it, but they both said that, that was a month ago. So it's basically, it's too little too late type of thing. So they really weren't receptive to that. Kimmy's weak ass, when Martell was throwing his temper tantrum in this same episode, the whole discussion about what's classified as cheating, when it's okay to cheat, when not, that whole discussion, it's so remedial to me, but Kimmy was the only one that then jumped in and asked, or not the only one, because we'll get to Tisha's ass later. Kimmy jumps in and asks Stormy, so basically what you're saying is, if a married couple, if a husband cheats, anything that happens after that is kind of like fair game, right? And she asked the question in a way of basically saying, like, that's not how it should be. Now, granted, y'all are able to believe whatever you believe in, right? Do whatever you want. But everybody in this room, my main issue with them is stop trying to have this very mass majority type of conversation about like what majority of people would do, or like a very like blanket statement that covers everything when talking about Martell and Mel, because all of y'all know the details. You know, all of y'all know that. So y'all continuing to play into his bullshit about Mel cheating on him is just, you're playing on our intelligence as people that watch the show. And as people that watch y'all on social media. Y'all know what's going on at this point in the season. And so for her to even don't even open your mouth. If you're not going to be on Mel's side, or what I would like to say, forget Mel's side, because I know a lot of people get caught up on that. If you're not going to be on the right side of history, then just shut up, right? Like, if you don't agree, then just don't say nothing. Because she was doing a good job at that at first, just not saying anything. Just shut up. But then she tries to insert herself by asking questions that kind of allude to where she stands. Well, and that's what makes me mad.
Well, you know, Kimmy is still salty about not being invited to Mel's name change. So I'm not surprised.
I cannot.
She's still salty.
So I cannot. So they gave nothing in that episode besides that. They added nothing, hence why, even more reason why I feel like they should just be friends of the show. But last weekend's episode, we have this very pointless scene of a date night that she does for Maurice to thank him for doing what he was supposed to do, and that was to be there for her while she went through cancer. And so she flat out says, like, you know, you didn't sign up for this. You know, you didn't sign up for it. You didn't sign up for this, and I just want to thank you for that. I do. I want to thank you because, you know, you have been my rock throughout all of this. When I was looking up from that bed, I always saw your face, so I know who has my back.
He literally just wants her back. Literally. That's all he thinks about is her back. So, of course, when you look up and you see him, he's there, of course. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't got too much to say about them two. Like, all season, they've been on the shits. Kimmy's been defending his dumb stuff he puts out on social media. These interviews he does, she's been defending, trying to save his name. You know, and Kimmy's changed a bit. Like I said, she's salty about not being invited to the name change. So I truly feel she's making comments in spite of Mel because she's still mad. So she's not thinking logically. So I'm going to do y'all one better and let Bree finish with them because I really ain't got nothing to say about them. So I'm going to sit here and chew my cough drop.
When this bitch said you didn't sign up for this, I said he literally did. He literally did sign up for this.
Was it for sickness and in...
Like, what what is wrong with people of today in this whole marriage thing? I'm freaking confused. It's literally in the vow. Do they change the vows? No, they don't say that part anymore?
Maurice had his own vows.
I'm so confused.
Thy wife every day will bend over. Thy wife will get on her knees when I say so. Like, you don't want to know his vows. And Kimmy's just sitting there smiling while he's reading them. He picked me. Crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Like, you literally signed your name on the certificate. That's what you're supposed to do. Granted, y'all, with couples, like, when I was sick last week, which nowhere near cancer, but I was sick last week, Evan will do whatever he needs to do to take care of me when I'm sick. Love him for that. And I always say, you know, thanks, babe. Like, of course, right? But for you to say that your husband didn't sign up for this, nobody signs up to go through cancer because nobody can predict this.
Right.
Both in sickness and in health.
Mm-hmm.
if you are not prepared for that, don't get married. Anything can happen. But y'all really just be stuck on all of the look of marriage, the idea of marriage, the ups of being in a relationship, not even just marriage, but being in a relationship. You guys romanticize those parts of it, the happily ever after part.
Mm-hmm.
I am not married. We are not married. And I already know that that's not how any of this works.
Let's see. The middle of his vow. Wife will lay down 3 times a day for me.
Wife is my property. That's what he's on.
Wife will get serial number tattooed at the bottom of her foot.
Like what? Like what? And I know the foundation of marriage and owning a woman, right? Like y'all don't want to have that conversation with me as far as really the foundation of marriage and how it is, of course, extremely sexist. It's extremely misogynistic. It's based in that, right? But we don't want to have that conversation because that also goes into religion. We don't want to talk about that right now. But in present day, I just feel like people be getting married for all the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. And this was an indication of that. Because even, I will give Maurice this, even he was like, he did sign up for it. He said, I did sign up for this. Like, I did do that. He did say that after she made that statement. Because
I told y'all I'm going to let her do it because I ain't got too much to say.
But I honestly, y'all, I wasn't paying attention. I know that she gave him her little
poster of herself.
Yeah. I forgot what you call it. The risque type of photo. And she looks good in the photo. Kimmy's a beautiful woman. And
in return, Maurice gave her a fake ass 6-pack that he drew with the Black Expo marker on his stomach.
Kimmy is a beautiful woman, and it's unfortunate that her standards are where they are, and that she has accepted this behavior all season. So this whole, trying to manipulate us with this beautiful scene at the end of the season as if Maurice has been her rock the entire time and went above and beyond for her while she was going through cancer. That's not what the whole season showed. I mean, not even just the whole sex thing. Even when it comes to you cleaning a dish. One dish. Just cleaning a dish. It seemed like you weren't even helping out in those areas.
I can just see it now while she's, not having her good days, laying down. Maurice yelling out, Kimmy, remember what you signed up for? We got an appointment at 12 o'clock.
Kimmy and Maurice aggravated me this entire season. My takeaway from them is I'm just very disappointed. I started off this season here with Kimmy. Like, I was like, I really, girl, like, I want to just kind of like shake you. I really wish sometimes that I was in your life to be your homegirl or your little sister to be like, hey, like, you deserve better. Like, oh my God. But no. As the season went on, my dislike for her, my disappointment in her has grown. I recognize that I should have went with my first instinct. I told y'all when I first started watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, I did not like Kimmy. I should have stuck with that. But I feel like humans, we're not perfect. We have our imperfections, and Kimmy's not perfect. So there are definitely things that we recognize now that she has to deal with. And there are some crosses that she has to bear. And there are some insecurities that were shown throughout this season. But I just have lost a lot of respect for her when it comes to how she showed up as a woman to the other women on the cast, aka Mel. And then that's what you're going home to every night. So it was definitely giving me Pickisha is what we gonna call Kimmy. Next on the docket, we have Marsau and Tisha. Okay. So, episode 30, the Christmas episode. Like we've already said, Kiki shows up. Of course, Tisha was feeling some type of way. We talked about how Nell kind of alluded to Mel being the one to invite Kiki low-key. So that all gets us to this point where once Nell told Tisha that, Tisha took it, ran with it. So then when it was time to join the group again, she started to throw like little slugs and little darts when Martell was having his temper tantrum about how everybody was so quick to jump on Mel's side. Like everybody's on Mel's side,
Team
basically.
Rogers.
Everybody's Team Rogers, right? And Tisha started to say little things in the background that shows that she's Team Martell only because she wants so bad to be on the opposite team of Mel, right? Before we even got to that, and they're talking in the kitchen, now Tisha and Marsau, Tisha even says, like, you know, Mel knows the history between Kiki and I. So, like, I'm really disappointed in her, right? Without being an adult and having a conversation with her. Because, of course, come to find out, I think this goes without saying, Mel didn't have that conversation with Kiki. She talked to her 2 weeks prior and was like, hey, like, yeah, we're all going to Houston. That's what we doing or whatever. And Kiki brings it up as far as like, oh, well, I would like to go. And she was like, well, I don't know. The Fletchers are doing the trip. Like, you know, maybe you should just go talk to her. I don't know. Type of thing. But never invited Kiki to Houston.
And that's another reason Nell's shady as shit too for saying it like that.
Right. But Mel never invited her to Houston. But Tisha always gonna believe the worst about Mel. Always, at all times. So again, when they were arguing, or let me not say they, when Martell was having his temper tantrum in the living room and he's yelling at everybody about everybody being Team Rogers and how Mel's a cheater and blah, 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 blah. Martell says, you know, like, y'all always picking her side type of thing. And Tisha in the background talking about, yeah, Martell's never asked us to choose a side. Bitch. Like, Tisha, we see you. At this point, like, it's laughable. It's so laughable at this point. Because anytime there is a conflict or there's a situation to make Mel look bad, which it never succeeds. But when there's an opportunity for that to happen, you are the first in line to say something and to be the amen corner. Like, always. And the shit is just like, it's just sad, girl. Like, it's just so sad. Meanwhile, your husband was in the kitchen talking to Mel.
Trying to get them brownie points going.
Okay, he's in the kitchen talking to Mel. But Marcel makes a little comment. He was like, you know, when Mel was being evil to us, yeah, I chose Martell's side. And Mel's like, wait, what? Like, I wasn't even checking for y'all. Like, what are you talking about? Once me and that sucker broke up, I was not checking for y'all. What are you talking about? That is when Marcel tells her, like, you know, it was kind of said to us just a little while ago that you were the one that invited Kiki. Like, it's like little things like that. And that's when Mel explains to him what happened, what that conversation was, and how she never invited Kiki here. She didn't know Kiki was coming. All of that. And Marceau is open and receptive to it. But when he made that comment, it annoyed me because I'm like, what are you talking about when Mel was being evil to us? At the end of the day, what I did appreciate about Marceau in this moment, and I will say this about Marceau when it comes to anything but Tisha, any other subject but Tisha, he'll just go ahead and say, yeah, I'm being an asshole. I am being a bitch. I am doing this. Oh, I did say that because I wanted to be messy. Like, he's an agitator. I said this episodes ago, like, he loves to be the villain. Like, he likes it. He feeds off of it. And so when he said that statement about when her being evil to them, that is why they chose Martell's side. Not that, oh, Martell's my homeboy. Like, that's my dog. And it's just like, I just really wanted to be loyal to him. That wasn't your reasoning. It was because you wanted to also get back at Mel. And the fact that none of them other bitches that was in that living room wants to admit that, Maurice, Kimmy, Tisha, none of them want to admit that. Just admit that. Admit that part. Admit that I was mad at Mel for whatever your reasoning is. No matter how stupid it is, I was mad about this. So that's why I went and agreed with Martell. And I was going along with his bullshit because I was mad at her. Why not say that? We're years removed at this point. Like, why even still play this game? Like, they were both wrong, and this like over here, and their relationship was toxic, and blah blah blah. Like, all of this extra shit. Like, he's not out here being a whole terrorist online constantly every season, and y'all are ignoring it. When it all boils down to, y'all just don't like Melody, and that's period.
Well, Marsau does.
Yes, babe.
Anytime Marsau sees Martell acting a fool on the internet, he's like, see, Mel, you should have chose me. I'm here for you, Mel.
Yes, babe. But Mel being the bigger person and the actual woman in the situation, she does pull Tisha to the side and let her know, like, hey, listen, I did not invite Kiki here. That's not what happened. I didn't know she was going to be here. Tisha's like, oh, like, I really appreciate that because I did think that you had something to do with blah, blah, blah. It don't matter, girl. You look stupid. She didn't. Mm-hmm. And all it took was 2 seconds for you to have a conversation with her real quick. As soon as the information was relayed to you that she was the one that kind of initiated the idea of Kiki coming, you should have just pulled her to the side, but you didn't do that. So here we are. So at the end of that episode, they are all talking because they did horseback riding. They're all talking basically kind of like how to move forward and like the trip, what is everybody's recap type of thing. And of course, they're going to talk about Kiki being there and how that did change the energy. And Stormy was saying how like she felt like Kiki was coming in correct, but nobody's being receptive to it and all of this other stuff. Marsau takes the opportunity to basically say, at the end of the day, there's still a lot of love there. So his door is going to be open for Kiki. However, there's a time and a place for everything. And I think that's basically the gist of what he was saying. Like, there's still love there. But right now, I don't think is the time for us to try to reconcile and try to get Tisha and Kiki back together.
And that's fair.
And it is fair.
That's fair. Because we don't, not, as you guys already know, we don't know their lives on TV because they hide it. So we don't know what other stuff they have going on. And so, they have their stuff going on. Right. And sometimes when it comes to reconciling, having certain conversations that are going to be hard, you're kind of just like, this ain't the time right now. I'm already dealing with something. I need to clear some stuff off my plate before I can get to this. So,
and the situation's too fresh.
Yeah.
So even if you aren't going through something, away from this issue, it's still fresh. Yeah. This is still somebody I love. There's hurt. There's a lot of hurt, whether who's right or wrong, or if there's anybody that is right or wrong. It's just still too fresh. And sometimes time does heal all. A lot of times. Like, you just need to give it a moment. And so I think that's where what he was getting at. And he takes it a step further as far as saying, like, with time, like, that's how me and Mel were able to hash out our situation earlier so quickly. He was like, if this would have happened some years ago, it probably wouldn't have been that way. But we have all grown. And now we're able to have a little spat and basically be able to talk it out and quickly resolve it. And I would say maybe you and Mel, but Tisha has not grown because that's not what she did. And he tried to give all of them props in this situation, including Tisha, and talking about how much they've grown, and they have not. Yeah. Because if she would have grown, then she would have had a different response to Nell when Nell made it seem like Mel invited Kiki to Houston. She wouldn't have instantly went back into her old ways of just let me try to hurt Mel or throw digs at Mel by being on her ex-husband's side. Right. She wouldn't have done that. She would have pulled Mel to the side. So there's no growth there. And the way Tisha has been moving all season, I don't see any growth. If anything, she thinks growth means having a voice now. So now she all gangster, right? So we seeing the scenes or the previews for the reunion, and she got a lot of mouth. She's being extra, and now she want to, step her vagina up. She want to step her game up now. I was about to say something else, but now she want to step it up and act like you all rah rah, and you not that girl. That's not what we mean by growth at all. So I think she took this lesson the wrong way. Like it didn't even make sense.
Okay, so in episode 31, they really did not have scenes until the very end, in which Marsau was in their house where they're doing the renovations at. He was in the kitchen. Letitia walks in, and this has kind of been a theme when it comes to, I guess I would say, anything business related for them two. Marsau will always put other projects ahead of anything he needs to do for Tisha. She's been asking him for the longest about her office. Well, Marsau let it be known, hey, well, we got this, and that. That's going to have to come first. And, Letitia's agitated, which she's going to be. I mean, look what just happened on the trip. Them arguing about a pregnancy test. But, like I said, that caused a whole different stir. Letitia, after talking about the office, Letitia let Marsau know, I still feel some type of way about how things were handled in Houston, and I'm hurt. And Marsau, which he's learned a new word, lets Letitia know, here you go gaslighting again. And once again, folks, I'm going to tell y'all this. That is the most overused word in 2023. Let's please not do that with 2024. Because it's, about 70% of y'all don't even know what it is and using it for that wrong. Like, it's being thrown out there too much.
I mean, it takes a gaslighter to know a gaslighter, though. Because Marsau is a gaslighter. We don't have to use the word, but he is a gaslighter. But nobody beats Martell Ho. But we'll get to that later.
But, Marsau, he's still stuck on this thing of, you're telling me you hurt. I should be the one hurt. You're my wife. You're taking a pregnancy test. And, Letitia pretty much goes into the spill of, well, I'm starting to double think this marriage because you don't trust me. And if you don't trust me, we don't have trust, then what do we really have? And Marsau's like, Tisha, come on. Like, stop. Here you go. She's like, no, if we don't have trust, what do we really have? And so Marsau, I guess, decides to have an actual serious moment, which he rarely has, and asks Letitia, have you ever stepped out on me? In which she responds, I'm not going to answer that question. She says, I'm done with it. Okay, you don't trust me? I'm done with it. And he asks her again. She doesn't answer again. And once again, Letitia's on, so what's next? And, Marsau lets it be known, okay, if this is how you want to play, we can play ball. Y'all, 50% of me feels like, are y'all acting for this scene? And the other 50%'s like, okay, if y'all not going nowhere. Like, Letitia, where are you going to go to? Marsau's not taking you serious for being upset right now. You walk away, he hops on his phone to text another woman, which we know he did, to try to set something up for that night. But y'all not going nowhere. I mean, shoot, looking at the dang reunion little slides, look like y'all fine. I think it's just another for show.
I don't have no opinion for them. Just like how you have nothing for Kimmy and Maurice, I don't got nothing for Tisha and Marsau. I think it's all fake. Now, if we want to talk about them as a whole, I don't want them back on my screen anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I'm done, because they have been able to get away with not really showing their reality since the very beginning. Mm-hmm. And that is what has really annoyed me about the overall production of the show. I feel like there's certain people that are protected and certain people that are not. And they are the people, to me, that are protected. I'm not interested. Like, I just don't feel like they have another season in them. Right. Honestly, I really don't.
All right, y'all. So for our last two people, Mel and Martell, you guys seen the episode like we have, and I think the common opinion we have, Martell Holt is crazy. That man is crazy. You know, he has his own story in his head of how his marriage went. He has his own, like, you know, I think one of the craziest things where he feels like they're in a good place.
You mean last week's episode?
Yeah, he said they're in a good place. And so, you know, as I said before, Martell tries 2 times out the year to try to get Mel back. He has a pattern of trying to ruin her life on social media. And then when he sees her in person, he goes back to googly eyes and tries to sweet talk her or be like, I just don't understand it, man. Why are you still stuck in the past? You know, despite it just happened. But, you know, but there is no past because you continue to do stuff every week. So there's no past. Martell's delusional. Man, you gotta run. You gotta run for the hills, run for the trenches. So somehow on Earth, Martell was able to get Mel to come out her home to meet him at a tea shop, out of all places.
That's all he could afford.
And so, you know, what's funny is, you know, she come in
with her mini dress. Hold on, with her mini dress, and when the scene happens, I was like doing something, and Evan was like, "Oh damn!" And I said, "What?" And I look up and it's Mel. I was like,
"Damn."
Evan liked what he saw. You like what you see. Martell did too.
Martell likes everything he sees. So, you know, she comes to the tea shop. You know, Martell's like, "Hey, you know, menu right here." You know, she ordered her tea. Martell think he balling because he paid for 2 teas for $4.91. You know, he think he balling. You know, brings it to the table, has this bouquet of flowers. You know, Martell thinking he did something. He's like, you know, this is my time out the year, trying to get Mel back. In which she lets him know that, you know, we are very divorced, right? And this is very inappropriate. She's like, aren't you dating Sheree? And he's like, no, I'm not dating. I'm single. She's like, well, I am. And, you know, that was a shot to Martell right there. He's like, how dare you date? How dare you move on? I got more bullshit to put your way, you know? You know, so Martell claims his mission with this sit down is to somehow get and stay on a great page for the kids. To be in a good place for the kids. And it's delusional because Martell, you're not doing anything to better the situation. Like I said, the things you do on social media. And you know, I think the funny thing is, it's kind of stupid how he claims Mel is always stuck on the negatives, which he told her at the table. But she's like, you keep doing shit. How am I stuck, but you keep doing stuff? It's all fresh. You know, he lets her know too. So he actually apologizes for her because he said he had a talk with Chris in which he apologized for her for not feeling protected in their marriage. Despite he needed to protect her from him. Obviously.
He said he didn't know that she didn't feel protected. I said off with his head. You got to be out your monkey mind. Oh my God. Like, oh my God.
And so, you know, after that, Martell goes into his spiel talking about, you know, I just want to be in a good place. I want you to put your guard down with me. She needs a barbed wire fence, 4 security guards. A taser. It's 2 times out the year, folks. 2 times out the year.
This fool kept, like you said, he kept saying like how I just want us to be in this positive place and blah 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 blah. I want us to be in a place of peace. And she's like, we not in a place of peace. That's not where we're at. He's like, well, you know, well, how can we get there? We will never be in a place of peace. Why? Because you are a whole terrorist. You are terrorizing me in these streets. You are the one that is putting the battery in people's back so that they can go against me. You are the reason why there's all of these lies and disgustingness that's going around social media. You started it. You are also fanning the flames. And your other baby mama, she didn't say this on camera, but his other baby mama, the only reason why she's able to run her mouth on social media is because you are taking information to that bitch so she can say it and share it to all of the world, including lies, because don't nobody believe her or him. And you have the power to stop all of this, but you continue to do shady, shisty, disgusting shit off of this show and online. And now you want to try to play good guy anytime there's a camera in your face.
Well,
that's my problem with you.
She does call him Agent Chaos.
Like, yes. He's sitting there talking about he waving the white flag. And she's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You are a big red flag. Your sign over there, the sign that you waving is declare war. And I was like, and yes. I think she said this in an episode prior about how anytime that Martell gets a little bit of a indication that Mel might be doing bad, and I said might be because that's not always the case. He tries to find those opportunities to go ahead and slither his way in and try to really like take advantage of that opportunity. So either play along and then go along with trying to bring her down, or try to slither his way in to try to see like if she really want him. Like if she's down bad, she gonna have to come back to me. So he's waiting for her to fail because in his twisted mind, her failing means that she's going to go back to Martell, which I wish somebody would let this nigga know. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's done. This lady could be homeless, no money in the bank. Her weave is falling apart. She got one eyelash on. Okay, she ain't got no shoes. And she still is not coming back to you, Martell. Nah, it's over. It's done because of your doing.
Yeah, and near the end of the conversation, I guess Mel got tired of arguing with Agent Chaos when she let him know, I got a flight to catch. He's very delusional.
Y'all know what this scene reminded me of, especially with the whole flowers. Y'all remember that scene when Ike met up with Tina at the end of What's Love Got to Do With It, and he was waiting for her after her rehearsal, and he had the flowers. He was like, come on, let me just give me 5 minutes. I just want to talk to you for 5 minutes. And they get in the car, and he's like, damn, girl, you look good. And like he talking to her like everything is cool. And as soon as the conversation wasn't going in the direction that he wanted, she was like, I gotta go. And he was like, listen, I made you now. I made you.
And I actually seen that movie. What you gonna do? I actually seen that movie.
He actually saw what stuff got to do with it. But still, that's what this was giving. It was giving psychotic and like, gone Ike. He over here like, well, you gonna leave me? Like all the motherfuckers I made famous? That's what he doing right now. That is what he's doing. He is psychotic, and I want him to get away from me. Now, I feel like it wasn't even 24 hours later after this episode airs, Martell gets his happy ass online. I don't know what happened or what provoked this. I'm going to assume Erica Mena has something to do with it. I don't know if she posted a comment about the show. She saw the foolishness that we saw and she posted something. I don't know. But he posted a response to her. Hold on. This is what this fool said. I don't want her back. This scene is me playing team ball. I was asked to meet with Melody and Carlos called me after me telling the other producers I'm not taking her flowers. She got me in court saying I'm abusing my kids. Now she has merchandise saying she's against abuse, which, okay. But anyways, she tried to get me. Carlos begged me to take her effing flowers, talking about the Holtz need to take the show back. The only question was, y'all talked to Melody? The answer was yes. So I was down. But just like you were delusional about, I'm going to assume that's Safari. That's why I think he was talking to Erica Mena. I don't know what's happening here. But just like you were delusional about Safari wanting you back, it's the same over here. The frustration you see on my face is her not doing what the producer said she was going to do. All this shit is definitely for TV. We're actors, right? I think it goes on from there. It don't even matter. Let me dissect this real quick. First of all, sir, this would have worked if we don't watch the show. If I ain't never watched Love and Marriage Huntsville and I saw that post, maybe you could convince me, right? Because I think all of us are woke now when it comes to the production of reality TV and how there are contrived like settings and how people are actually being scripted, that what we're seeing is not real anymore. We all, I think, are waking up to that. But that's not in this situation. Nigga, you really did cheat on this lady. You really did. You really did have a 5-year affair. That really happened. And you really did get a woman pregnant. And the result of that is walking around here now calling you daddy, I assume. You really did get online and basically called your ex-wife all types of bitches, hoes, and I think Mel even said that in the last episode. You really did do those things. You really did have your other baby mama. You had her try to put out a tape of Mel, which is called revenge porn, on your ex-wife, trying to make it seem like the person she's in the video with wasn't you. To try to also go along with this whole storyline about her cheating. You did that. That's not, production ain't facilitate that. Those are things you're doing. You really did take this woman to court to try to take her kids away. That happened. That happened. You really did get on TV and talk about how you don't feel comfortable with Mel's brother being around your kids because he's gay, essentially. That happened. So I don't know what the you're talking about in that. It doesn't matter because we're not the weakest link here. You are. Don't try to gaslight us. Because when Mel sat at that table and said to you, has to be the most gaslighting conversation I've ever been a part of in my entire life, I was like, ditto. This has to be one of the most gaslighting conversations I've seen on reality TV. Because he is a monster and he knows that. And yet, even when I go through those comments online, there's still a whole bunch of women that are still like, I know, Mel just got to be so difficult. Why can't she just take the flowers? Huntsville people, this is now for y'all as we wrap this up because we've been here for a long time. I think this is the longest video we've ever done for y'all. Huntsville people, listen. This show, to me, is going downhill. We do not want to talk about Martell and Mel and that dysfunction anymore. Unless y'all are going to be real. Y'all have to be real. And I'm not talking to Melody. I'm talking about production. There is a whole world, the real world on social media about what's really going on in the nature of everybody's relationship dynamics. That's real. We get to the TV show, the seasons start, and they're acting as if these things are not happening. Because word on the street is that when they were filming the Houston situation, not only was there a whole bunch of stuff going on that never made the show, but also this is when this whole revenge porn thing was happening. Like, y'all can't continue to do this. Stop playing it in our face. It's no longer entertaining because now what's happening off of the show is more entertaining. Like, we're paying attention to that and not the show anymore. So it's getting hard to review the show because we feel like we're finding ourselves repeating the same information or trying hard to just stay on the show and not go into the rabbit hole of social media. But it's not like the two worlds are not colliding. These people do not have genuine friendships. That's not what's happening. Stop forcing that. I need y'all to lean more into the realness of it. If you want to bring life back into this show, focus on the reality. Everybody needs to show up and be authentic, or keep it moving. I don't think that we need to recast, because I don't want to be in Alabama anymore. Like, I don't want new people. Just shut it down. Or show up. Show up or shut it down. Period. It's getting whack. I don't know how long we're supposed to do this. Like, act like things are not really happening and then we're doing these fake trips. Like, how long are we supposed to go along with that as viewers?
Right.
Carlos, please. Carlos, please. Like, can we please fix this? I know that their whole attitude from moving away from the last season with Wanda was like, oh, it got real dark and like it was negative. And so they were really trying to change the pace. No, we want to see drama. I'm not even going to sit here and play with y'all. We want to see fights. We want to see drama. We want to see the arguing. We want to see the real. What we don't want is for y'all to pretend that things that are really happening isn't happening. And then you're editing your episodes and it's like these weird dynamics. It's strange. And you're forcing everybody to be in the same scene together. That's not working for me. So there's my thing with Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Well, y'all, we did see the previews for the reunion. I'm going to be honest with you. The reunion looks like it's good. The reunion looks like it's going to be better than any episode there was this season. But, and you know, they didn't say it, but we all know it's going to be like 2 or 3 parts. I'm surprised that you did say that it's going to come back in a couple weeks already.
That's what Mel said. She did a live with Carlos. And I don't know if they meant like they're going to start filming in a couple weeks or if it's coming back. She said it was coming back at the end of January. I don't know what that means, but it's weird.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we can try to look it up, but, you know, that's fast.
They also said, just to real quick, they said that DC is supposed to be coming back in a couple of weeks, too.
Oh, don't care.
Let us know if y'all want us to review that show, y'all. We can force Evan to do it. Because at this point, we're running out of reality shows. Like, seriously, y'all. This whole channel... We're running out of reality shows, like, because I'm, like, done. I told y'all I ain't doing Potomac. I'm not doing Potomac. I ain't talking about that. We started that new segment with our weekly recap. We're talking about shows that we watched throughout the week. Now, granted, everything was pretty much gone the last couple of weeks because of the holiday season. So stuff isn't supposed to be, like, really coming back until, like, this week, kind of, sort of, but next week and kind of as the month rolls down. But we're running out of shows because all of this shit is just problematic and fake, and I don't like it. It's not entertaining anymore. Shit, we was so down bad that we was out here watching Salt Lake City finale last night. Now that was good. That was good. That was good. Y'all need to maybe take some notes. That was a good finale, and that show boring as hell. Even Evan was into it.
Well,
you're not gonna admit that.
Nah. But y'all, please let us know in the comments what y'all think of this past episode. The past 2 episodes. We do want to hear it. We will definitely respond. We want y'all to have conversations between yourselves as well. We got the reunion. We're going to watch it, of course. We're going to be here to review it, of course. So y'all be on the lookout for the review. You have any parting words? I feel like we talked a lot, so y'all know you ain't got nothing.
Yeah, no.
But we enjoy y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all for sticking with us.
Yes.
And like I said, we got a lot in store for y'all. I hope that you guys are enjoying us. And we will see y'all next episode.
Yes. Happy New Year. Bye.